Hello and welcome to the finale of LD's CC12 Nicheknights contest. My name's Zafang Greatblade and I'm joined today by my Kumfi no longer Arknights. Today we are showcasing the winners of the second and final week of Base Point. Starting with an artist only clear by Q.
An artist named HotSpringMelon might give you the impression that they only draw the big kahonkers, but the operators in this niche actually have some reserved class to them. The two vanguards, Cantabile and Black Knight, are used to punch through the top roadblocks to help the low intelligent civvies get to safety, while Erito and Kazemaru clear the blocks at mid. Cantabile fulfills her semi-fast redeploy agent nature by being redeployed in the back against the paratroopers.
People may not know this, but Erato packs quite a punch, especially on S1 with that high attack skill. The drone takes a while to move to the right, so she can clap its cheeks in safety before that. Now comes the true test of this daily, the Ursus Raiders. They require 2 block to be blocked, and with that -1 block tag, there is absolutely no one in this niche that works. Instead, Q had to rely on Tsubai and Kazemaru to barely DPS both of them in time, with some clutch blue box gaming.
And Q definitely came prepared, as the top lane 1 gets infinite sleep cycle comboed by Black Knight S2 and Erito S1. The bottom striker gets steamrolled by the Chu by S3 Kazemaru S2 burst with a flashy finish. Very strong clear, I rate this one 5 melons out of Utage.
For our next daily, we have a max risk Guardknights by Omega on Viento Karst. This time, every single enemy has insanely buffed health on top of the X cracked risk 3 mega range tag. With the X insane range, the only options Omega has are Levitate, Inbound, and a secret tool that will be useful later. Irene begins cleaning them and the peons up with an S3, while Chen is placed to finish the job.
Irene is redeployed on the left side to help with the FTT burst, and Moinar is there because Moinar. The first FTT is slapped around using both their skills, and Jaded Horseman gets some damage on the last flower guy, so he starts his marathon. The second FTT to spawn, unsurprisingly, gets just usurted, while Chen and Moinar make sure to do just enough damage on the flowers to keep them at bay. The second pair of the middle crawlers gets sleeked, and I wonder what they do for the third pair of crawlers.
Activate Kata skill! Activate Kata skill! Activate Kata skill! For the next 6.5 minutes, Omega presses one skill button in bullet time. Kata and Bullet share a strange bug feature. When an enemy is outside of their skill range but still being blocked, they attempt to activate their skills to no avail. This results in what you're seeing right now. An infinite stall that costs only the use of your dominant arm and 50 billion years. After stalling for long enough, all their burst options are ready and the eggs quickly turn into omelets.
That's some crazy ass stall right there. I rate this clear a skill activation sound effect out of Activate Cutter skill. A 1P relay on a 2-lane map might seem menacing, but Wuzzy somehow makes it look easy. The map's opening is lenient enough for them to place down Winar and slap all the trash mobs into oblivion, with the stragglers being hit by the cannon. Fast redeploys and Chen take care of more of the peons, and Silver Ash with his sexy Invis reveal talent sweeps the cannon chargers, while Neural Alter's true damage on S3 slices through Manfred phase 1.
Gravel charges the cannon during Manfred's transition phase, setting up for a big slug clear at the start of phase 2. Scuddy then abuses that window to deal a bit of damage, just enough to where Null can take care of the rest of phase 2. After Manfred, the map is a breeze with fast redeploys and a full squad of operators. Silvash claps even more invisible cheeks, cleaning things up for Wuzzy to face the final hit drinker with a fast redeploy stall. Simple stuff.
This clear gets a 1P out of relay. Despite ticking cost generation down 2, Vigna, as the only Sarkaz vanguard, is able to stab through the starting enemies and convert their remains to DP. That middle lane is left wide open so the fireballs don't explode and kill everyone, but don't worry, WS2 has enough explosive power to obliterate the enemies that converge into the intersection. The fireball and flamethrower guys simultaneously get just usurted.
The strategy against gargoyles is once again to not kill them and instead drop a pile of bricks on them. To that end, WS2 mines are retreated so she doesn't deal too much damage to them and activate phase 2 early. Nightingale is the star player this time. With such an arts-heavy enemy team, nothing in the map deals damage with a skill on. W once again deals with the flamethrower dudes, and one certain skill later, the only enemies left are the gargoyles. Mudrock S1 has indeed finally found a use in this niche, letting her tank the gargoyles until Crow was ready to pillar them.
Very clean clear. 2, 1, out of bang. When you think of Guardknights, you probably jump to brainless Surtur, Mwynar, and Silveresh sweeps, but this next clear will open your third eye when it comes to guard usage. First of all, Bro took DP down 3 despite not having any vanguards in the squad. The opener is what you'd expect. Mountain S2 takes care of the first guy coming out, while Tequila deals with the race, but here comes the real treat. After Mountain slugs through a delinquent, the skill is deactivated to let the dock worker pass through with the minus block count tag. Mountain's skill is then activated again to punch another delinquent, and deactivated again for the second dock worker to pass. This cycling is absolutely beautiful.
To no one's surprise, Mwynar is dealing with the car. However, he actually can't solo this time, giving the Tequila from the start some use. On the bottom lane meanwhile, DP costs are still tight and options are limited. Indra is the best option here. Low cost, decent DPS, and a self-heal to tank through anything that attempts to fight back. With that done, it's time for our regularly scheduled Just Surtur. Surtur alone is missing a little bit of damage, which Scram beautifully supplements with yet another mountain skill micromanagement. 1 extra second and a still alive mountain later, everyone is dead. Indra cycles just in time to clap the casters once again, and it's now time for the devastating final wave.
Tequila deals with the race that come by themselves, but the 2 buggies that come out are gonna take a bit more than that. Mwynar on skill thankfully blocks 3, but remember, we have that block reduction tag, making him unable to stall the cars. Fortunately, Pellis S3's buff gives that extra block count that Scram needed to block the first buggy, while also giving Mwynar a decent attack buff. The stage ends with Mwynar and Surtur slashing through the enemies, and while these ops are considered brain-dead, the overall planning for this stage was top-notch. Amazing clear, 7 micros out of 1 macro.
The final Tundra mines is absolutely brutal. Unkillable drones and unkillable strikers with no leeway to leak any of them. In spite of this, Invertecol brings us our winner for week 2. 5-star only Summonerless 6 ops. This opener is rough. Peons rush straight to the civilians right from the get-go, leaving you with barely any time to set up. Elysium is placed to block a later paratrooper while generating DP for Spectre to save the CVs. For the drone kill, our favorite daughter gets a chance to shine. Hung's highest defense and HPS on a high initial SP is absolutely vital here. No other 5-star defender can tank for as long as Amiya needs to charge. With the help of Lapland, Amoya finishes off the drone just as it begins to move.
This clear gets a lot simpler from here. Spectre and Lapland lane hold while Kazemaru takes care of the paratroopers. This is the part that separated this clear from the rest. Hong replaces Lapland for the 2 Imperial Strikers that come out. With max risk, these enemies aren't just menacing. They feel like an actual boss. 48,000 HP each, and we still have attack down 2 to worry about, making them ungodly tanky. Invertecol has it all figured out though. Block them with Hung and burst them down 1 at a time, clean and methodical. Hung goes down, but it's all good because Spectre S2 is there to pick up where he left off. The clear does it again for the second striker when Hung barely just comes up to block it in front of the blue box. Outstanding showcase of squeezing water from stone, 5 stars out of 6. Finally, for our last daily, Bindknights by Zirconitik. From the get-go, Robin is immediately dropped with a couple of mines to help supplement her damage. Chibai is placed on the fence tile to keep her away from getting radiation poisoning, and Rosa is used to harpoon the cars on the left. These guys are tanky though, with added risks, so despite being an absolute menace to heavy enemies, she has to pick off the remaining HP with her autos. Indigo alleviates pressure on the left with a smart placement above Chibai facing left, letting her hit her charges over the holes that divide the map.
Tsubai's skill tree cannot be used here with its long cycle times. Instead, S2 shorter cycles are preferred just to keep the middle lane's equally short interval enemies at bay. Poison and ranged enemies are rough with no medic, so keeping them away is absolutely vital in this niche. Despite their best efforts, however, Tsubai does eventually get chipped up. Indigo and her get replaced for a Rosa to take care of the final few enemies while the invisible artilleries wait menacingly at the side. Carnelian helps finish off the last few enemies, and with a clutch Phantom deploy at the end, the artilleries safely leak for a clean victory.
This clear was a pretty enjoyable watch. 3 Chernobyls out of tactical nuke incoming.